Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we are looking at the Buccaneer S.1. Now the Buccaneer S.1 is the big event reward vehicle from Summer Landing. It is a British bomber and it's going to be coming to, of course, the British tech tree in the form of the aviation part. This vehicle is going to be a rank 6 aircraft, so it's going to be useful for researching rank 5, 6 and 7. It doesn't have any premium bonuses on it, but it still has some pretty nice rewards. If you have a premium account, it has 428% RP and 330% SL. So not the best in the SL department, but pretty good when it comes to the RP. It's pretty much the same as the Buccaneer S2, apart from the S2 makes a little bit more SL in the form of an extra 30%. So when we have a look at the Buccaneer S1, what do we find from this aircraft? Well, from a ground forces point of view, if you want to bring it along with your 8.7 lineup, so stuff like the Roycat MTTD, which is very fun, the Chieftain Mark V, which got up-tiered for some reason, you can run it with that and you can bring along 4 bullpups. So you can kind of have a worse version of something like a G91R3 or a G91R4 or something such as the A4E or even A4B. The thing about the Buccaneer S1 is once you get rid of those missiles, you don't really have anything else that you can do, so you basically have to just go back to base. You can mix and match armament with it. You can bring some AGEM bullpups in the form of 4 of them, plus you can bring 4,000 pounders, so maybe you could be a bit more useful there, but you cannot bring rockets alongside the missiles as well, since they seem to use the same pylons. But overall, it gives you a missile launcher, which can be used in ground RB if you want to, at a similar BR to what you see from other machines. The Scimitar is also a vehicle which has access to 4 bullpups, but it also gets access to 4 30mm Aidens. It is nowhere near as maneuverable, though, as the S1, and that is where its little advantage comes, even though it can't defend itself and it can't go after anything apart from on the ground. When we have a look at its aerialistic performance, which for me is actually where it shines, it actually has a really nice setup on it. So, to preface this, I understand that a lot of people in War Thunder are not going to enjoy bomber gameplay, okay? I hear it quite a lot. A lot of people tell me that they find it boring or they find it arduous, all of this stuff. Kind of like when they talk about naval gameplay every once in a while. But when it comes to vehicles like the Buccaneer S1, they are insanely good for grinding. And because of that, I think people should use it to even just get it stock and then get it to a spaded configuration, because you will get this thing stock and you will get a ton of RP from it to be able to get some of those fighters that you want to play. So the fact is, with the Buccaneer S1, it is a vehicle without premium bonuses, but once you get every modification in a line, you get a really nice RP bonus, which you can put towards vehicles in the tech tree. Also, they just lowered a bunch of RP for a ton of vehicles in this tech tree, and therefore you can grind even better with it. It's something that I've been doing with the Buccaneer S2 after I finished spading stuff such as the Javelin and the Scimitar. I've pretty much been with it, just passively grinding with it, doing stuff like specials such as the Kill 15 Bases one, and just bombing stuff using the flares to, try and keep alive and doing well in that regard. I've nearly been able to spade the vehicle, so fully modify it. I only have one modification to go, which is the bullpups on it, and it's amazing how much SL and RP I've made from it. So just to give you an idea of it, when it comes to the Buccaneer S2, which is of course the one in the tech tree, I have 71 battles in it, 59% win rate. I have had 71 flyouts, of course, and only died 29 times. So it just shows how survivable these vehicles are, and I'm sure some of them could have been preventable. And also, at the same time, I've made 680k when it comes to SL earned. This is just SL gained without victory awards and achievements not counted, so I've probably made around about 1 million, maybe even more in this thing. And then when it comes to RP gained, I've gained 148,000, but that's also not including all of the bonuses I've got from completing the lines. So just by spading this thing, I've got myself around about a whole 380k vehicle, plus a little bit more as well because of the wonderful bonuses. And it's just been really, really nice just to take out and play and, you know, basically the way that I see it, okay? So if you have like 2 monitors, right? Or if you don't have 2 monitors, maybe you have podcasts you like to listen to. Maybe there's YouTubes you like to listen to, such as this one. And maybe you put it on in the background while you're playing. I know a lot of people do that with stuff like my videos. Stick some of them on and then just passively grind with the Buccaneer S2 or the Buccaneer S1 in this case. All you do is go to a base, bomb it, then go back to your airfield. Once you've landed, hit the tab button or look at the scoreboard, see what your team's doing. Normally at this point, your team is either in a winning position or a losing position, and then you can work out what to do there. If your team is all dead, then you can just J out, you know, wait for the match to end, then go into the next one. If your team is doing well, you can support them by taking off again and then going to bomb some more bases or maybe bomb some ground targets depending on what the match needs. This is all I do in the Buccaneer basically, and it is a very simple process. It works incredibly well. You get a ton of SL from it and you get a ton of RP, and yes, it takes a little bit of time, but you get rewarded from getting all the modifications. In the Buccaneer S1, I had 5 flyouts with this because I felt like after 5, it felt exactly like the S2, so I knew exactly what I was getting into. All I did was bomb bases, right? I had 5 games. I only died once, and that was in the last game because I wasn't paying attention and I took off for a second time and didn't realize that my team was completely dead, so I got blind hunted and annihilated. But yeah, that's basically the story of the Buccaneer. You can get in, hit bases, get out, go back to the airfield, and then just keep doing that rinse and repeat over and over and over again, and you can make a ton of SL and ton of RP just by doing that. Now, the Buccaneer S1 compared to the S2, because there are quite a few differences. The first one is the engine power. So the Buccaneer S1 is a little bit slower than its brother. When it comes to acceleration and stuff like that, it does have different engines, and also it doesn't get access to flares. Which is a big disappointment, really. You know, it would be nice to have flares on the machine, but they're not really needed at 8.7 because there are machines which have missiles at 8.7, but a lot of them do not have great missiles. And because the Buccaneer is quite flexible as a vehicle, it can turn pretty well. It's actually not too bad at all to be used. So no flares, unfortunately. The other thing that is surprising, and actually a bonus for it, is one of the loadouts. So it has 4 £1,000 and then 4 £1,000. It has 4 £1,000 internally, and then it's got 4 externally. Now, the ones which are external are actually different to the ones that are internal. So the external ones are LDHE-MC Mark 1s, and these have way more explosives than the ones which are internal. The GP Mark 1 bombs are the ones that you will find on the Buccaneer S2, and these have a TNT equivalent of 219 kilos each. But then when you have a look at the HEMCs, they have a TNT equivalent of 322 kilos. So they are way more powerful than the GP Mark 1s. This means that with the HEs, if you only drop the 4 which are on the externals, you can knock out a base just with them. And then you have about half a base's worth of damage with the GP Mark 1s. This means that the loadout on the S1 with only the 8 bombs actually has around about the same, it's very close, same explosive mass and TNT equivalent to the Buccaneer S2 when it has flares on it. So when the Buccaneer S2 doesn't have flares on it, its bomb load is much greater. But I generally run it with flares for that extra protection, and that means that the bomb loads are really similar on the two machines. It's one of those very odd things, and also nice to see for the vehicle. So for me, the Buccaneer S1 really is a good passive grinder. It's one of the perfect passive grinders in the game if you want to get yourself some fighters and also, get yourself to spade a vehicle. I've had a great time in the S2, just chilling, watching TV shows on the side, or listening to radios, or just streaming and chatting to people while we do, the standard thing, and I think the Buccaneer S1 would be very similar to this. If you're looking for it to be a competitive machine, if you're looking to take it into ground battles with AGMs, just use the scimitar instead, if you can get it. If you're looking for it just to get yourself some research in rank 5, 6, and 7, it's going to be perfect for that role. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd like to thank BRFC, Swollen Ostrich, Teddy, John Ryman, Universe A, Conte Baraka, Eugens Terry, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Lafouche, Barine, and Samuel Schlick for supporting the channel.